Good afternoon, it's Rich here, just going for a little stroll on a Sunday. Very, very windy, hope you're all good. Yeah, we're going to call this section, I'm going to try to do this every Sunday. It'll either be in the morning or if I'm working, probably Sunday afternoon time. I'm going to call it the Sunday Stroll. Just some thoughts on the weekend's games. Anyway, to start with, please smash the like, smash the subscribe button, massively appreciated. Obviously Town have made 2 signings this weekend. Last night Jack Clark signed from Sunderland, undisclosed, and this lunchtime Dara O'Shea has signed from Burnley. Both 5-year contracts, takes the summer business up to 11. Probably one more needed, number 9. Looks as though the deal for Armando Broja is pretty much dead in the water, so obviously McKenna and Ashton will have a list, I'm sure, of targets that they are going to look at. So window shuts at 11 p.m. on Friday evening, so we'll have to see who comes through the door. I'm sure there'll be more. I'm sure there'll be players going out now. I would expect George Edmondson to move on. He obviously got an appearance yesterday. Maybe Ali Al-Hamadi after Wednesday. I think he plays at Wimbledon, his former club. And then, yeah, I think Freddie Ladapo, he was there yesterday as the extra man. Then probably 3, I think, a go. Kieran Slicker possibly on loan. But I'll give you a name I would be interested in. I don't know sort of how much is in the kitty left. I would have thought it would probably be a loan now. That was the deal obviously with Broja, where it was obviously pay 30 million if you stay up, which for me was a big risk. He's obviously had an ACL, reportedly that he's Achilles, so that's probably why that deal's off. Latte Laff from Middlesbrough would be high on my list. I'm not sure how much they'd want for him. Obviously, just cross the road, don't get run over. That would be great, wouldn't it? And make great content. Rich gets run over. All the guys letting me cross. Thank you. Yeah, Latte Laff. He was 5 million. Nice cream man. Mr. Whippy, 99, please. Yeah, he was 5 million. Borough signed him from Atalanta, so you're probably going to be looking upwards of 10, 12 million. It's the sort of figure seems to me, these players in the Championship, 15 million is probably your starting sort of point with the players that we've got. But let me know what you think of the transfer business in the comments. I think we've done some really good deals, and it's 11 in. We've signed players in every single position now, and I'll get onto that in a little bit about now my thoughts of what happens moving forward with some of the players who've obviously starred for Town in the last 2 seasons. But yeah, yesterday obviously done a little video last night. It wouldn't upload for some reason, so I uploaded it this morning. I think we've had 1,200 views, which is absolutely brilliant. If you haven't seen that, go and check it out. It was just me match thoughts. Yeah, just reflecting today. Great day for the football club. 2 years ago, I think on that day, I spoke to Graham Mack yesterday on Radio Suffolk. I think we were playing away at Shrewsbury, so, and not long before that we were playing at Forest Green. So it shows how far as a football club we've come. We're now mixing it with the big boys, and I thought we played okay yesterday. Obviously the mistakes we made, you're probably more magnified in the Premier League now because you've got so many eyes and people watching, and TV and pundits and people like me moaning. But I'm not going to have a moan. There's a lot of talk on the socials. Let me sit down because I'm nearly at the co-op. That's where I'm heading. There's a lot of talk on the socials about obviously Muric and his position in the team, which I think is utter nonsense, if I'm being quite honest. You've signed a player here to come and be your number 1, and People are wanting him dropped after one game. They wanted Christian Walton to stay in the team after last week. It's a total different scenario for me than when Alanke came in and Walton had an injury that was going to take a bit of time, whereas Muric just had a calf injury and he was only going to miss one game. Not Muric, Christian. Yeah, Muric, yeah. Don't know if you watched the show the other night. There was I made a little mistake in the Jack Clark on Thursday night. I said he was being chased by Sunderland. Well, obviously he come from Sunderland, didn't he? So there you go. Can't always get it right. Not 100% of the time, but I try and be right 99.9. But yeah, Muric for me. Park it. Move on. He's obviously put himself under a little bit of pressure, in my opinion, now with his performance yesterday, which there's no getting away from it. It was pretty woeful in every aspect. His kicking was poor, his positional play was poor, his decision making was poor, but it is one game and everybody's human, and it didn't start great when he kicked the ball straight to one of their players straight from the kickoff when it's passed back to him. So yeah, look, didn't cover himself in glory, but going through the team, I thought we defended pretty well as a team. I thought Johnson and Twanzebe sort of linked up fairly well to try and stop Doku, who's absolutely rapid. Obviously Leif Davis give away the penalty, and he's probably the one player, if I was in the opposition, that I would target defensively. We know what Leif's got, his qualities going forward, but I think defensively he's a little bit suspect at the minute, but he can only improve, and you're playing against world-class players. Every single mistake is probably going to end up in a goal. So yeah, moving forward with Leif, I think he'll be totally okay. 2 in midfield, I thought Sammy Morsey was good. Obviously got his customary booking, first one of the season. Mass, I thought, really struggled, and I think league-wise, I don't think we'll see them playing together much as a partnership through the season now, which makes me a little bit sad with the partnership that they formed in League One and in the Championship. And Massimo Luongo, what an absolute superstar he has been since he's come back to the football club for his second spell. Absolutely love him, but I think he'll be a bench option. Obviously Smodic's play well, he got his goal. Great run from out to in, I'd call it. Sort of, they said they've been working on that in training, on the transition, and I think it's obviously these teams, a lot of teams play that high line, and I think we could have a little bit of success with that this season with his pace. I think if that was a Chaplin, I don't think we scored that goal, but his movement's great. Doesn't really get a great connection on it, if I'm being honest, but it somehow makes its way into the net. It was one of them moments in the stadium where, yeah, we went absolutely wild, but then yeah, it did come back to bite us on the backside. Poke the old hornet's nest as another gust of wind comes in. I thought Amari was good yesterday on the ball with the limited time that he had on it. I think we had only 24% possession through the game, which you're always going to struggle at the Etihad against them sort of players. Liam Delap up front, what a star. Thought he had a really good game. He needs a goal. I'd love to see him get on the score sheet next Saturday against Fulham, but he is everything that Town want in your number 9. Runs the channels, holds the ball up well, he's strong, brings others into play. It's just how many goals is he going to score? There's a question for you in the comments. How many goals do you think Liam Delap will score this season? But yeah, overall, look, it was 4-1. I said 3-0, I think I predicted. I did predict the lineup, so I got that spot on. And I'll go now into a little bit of thoughts. Whereas McKenna's been very loyal to his players, but like when I spoke to Alex Maffey last night on Suffolk, loyalty only gets you so far. So I think from now on in, the loyalty stops and we start being ruthless. And I think that's just how it is. You're in the Premier League now, you're playing against world-class players every week, and in my opinion, this is only my opinion, I don't know what you think, leave your comments. There's probably only going to be, out of the League One team, 2 players left who I think will be playing regular. Maybe 3 with Wes Burns, but at the minute he's injured, so we'll probably come back on that conversation a little bit down the line. But at the minute, I only see Leif Davis and Sammy Morsey being regulars in this team. That might sound harsh, and a lot of people might think that's a little bit excessive, but when you've signed 11 players, and like I say, you've signed the likes of Jack Clark, Dara O'Shea, they haven't come to warm the bench, in my opinion. So I'll go with this for Saturday. You might have a few injuries, but hopefully we haven't. If everybody was fit, I'd go Muric in goal, probably Axel Twanzebe at right back. You could make a case for Ben Johnson, who I thought he had his best game yesterday for Town. I thought he was really good. Seen a few on the socials, not with the greatest comments about Ben, but I thought, yeah, he done well. And you've got to realise he's only just settling into a new club, a new area, so he needs time. Not everyone's going to take to it like a duck to water like Sammy did Smodics yesterday with the goal. But yeah, I'd probably go Axel. 2 centre-backs would be Greaves and O'Shea. Can't believe I'm saying that because I'm a massive Luke Wolfenden fan, but yeah, like I did just say, I can't really contradict myself. I said you've got to be ruthless, so I think Wolfie probably drops on the bench. Leaf at fullback. Your 2 in midfield, Morsey and Calvin Phillips. I think Jens Kudust will probably get some minutes against AFC Wimbledon. I wouldn't be surprised if Calvin Phillips gets some minutes. I don't know if he starts or possibly comes off the bench. Your 3 attackers, it's pretty obvious to me. Amari on the right, Sammy Smodics in the 10, Jack Clark on the left, and then Liam Delap leading the line. So let me know what you think, what you maybe predict your lineup to be moving forward. But yeah, it is where we are now. We've moved very, very quickly, and obviously with 11 signings and possibly one to come in to fill that number 9 shirt, it's you've signed a player now in every single position. So this is where we are as a football club. We need to get the season started. You need to have a decent performance against Fulham. I'm not saying we're going to beat them, because when people say your season starts on Saturday against Fulham, and then you look at Fulham's team and they had a win yesterday, they've had, not a bad start. They probably should have got something at Old Trafford. It's not going to be an easy game. Kieran referenced that in his post-match. So you're going to have to be on the ball. Limit your mistakes to a minimum, because the better sides, you will see like a City or an Arsenal, they might make one mistake in the game. They won't make, 3 mistakes that Town did yesterday, giving away the first 3 goals. That doesn't happen for the better side. So the less mistakes that you make, obviously the better you're going to be. And this is where, at the minute, I think I'm quite happy with what we've got going forward. I think we've got players who can hurt opposition, and we can score goals and create chances. It's at the back, and you look at the goals that Sheffield United, Luton and Burnley conceded last season. I mean, I think it was close to 250, and you can see why. So obviously Town have signed 2 centre-backs, we signed a right-back, we signed a new goalkeeper, because we know that's a position that we need to strengthen. But it's moving forward. We'll have to see how they settle down. It's probably best now that you play on Saturday against Fulham, and then you've got a 2-week break to get on the training field and work on your patterns of play, moving into Brighton and Southampton away games. Then you've got Aston Villa at home. It doesn't get any easier. You look at them fixtures and you think, where exactly are these points coming from? But I'm sure, look, given time, these players will be moulded. We don't want to use that word, do we? The Paul Cook time to take for the players to gel. No, we've done that. That's in the past, in the Ipswich Town banter era. This is Premier League football. But yes, shout out to the 3,000 yesterday at the Etihad. Brilliant support from Town. Little bit. Look, I was critical of Liverpool fans. It's easy to say when you're winning every week. It must be hard. You're just going there. I would liken the Etihad to like going to the theatre and you're waiting to be entertained. And they probably did entertain, because they first half it was like literally Town were going to get absolutely swept away, I thought, and we hung in there and we showed a lot of grit and determination. But yeah, City are they're a top team, obviously one of the best teams in the world. One player I did like, he's come through their academy, not sure about his number 82, Rico Lewis, absolute quality. He did miss an absolute sitter where he should have scored, but he tried to break the goal. but it won't be long, I don't think, before he makes the England side. I think he's that good. Obviously, Haaland, I think that was that his 9th hat-trick. He averaged a hat-trick every 10 games, which is absolutely ridiculous. If you actually watch him in a game, he doesn't really do a lot, but he does that thing that's the hardest to do, and he puts the ball in the net, and he's there. And if you've only got to look at his finish for the second goal, I know it's a bit of a poor decision by Muric to come for the ball, but it's still a really good finish from Haaland, and I think his hat-trick goals are just a turn, swivel, and I've got a bit of on my lip. Turn and swivel, and there's a few people saying Muric should save that. Personally, I don't think he saves that. Right, resting my legs, I can walk again. Getting old, but yeah, all in all, it was a good day. We've got these 2 fixtures out of the way. Now we're on to games that we can probably compete in and get some results, hopefully. But it's all about performances. If we perform the manner that we're capable of, I think the performances and the results probably take care of themselves. But yeah, no need to be downhearted. I don't think there's too many fans expected anything from these 2 tough fixtures to start with. So we regroup. We go to the Cherry Records Stadium on Wednesday night for a bit of Carabao Cup action. I'll be in the old executive boxes, thanks to Mr. Craig Chapman. Going to be in there. Menu looks good. Got some padded seats in there, so I might do a bit of filming from there with Craig. Matt Stannard's going to be there. The boys are going to be there. The wives are going to be there. Yeah, it's going to be a good night out in London against AFC Wimbledon. Obviously, we played them last season in the FA Cup. I would call it the Ali Al Hamadi Derby, because I think he'll play, and then I think he'll probably be loaned out before Friday. Anyway, thank you for watching. I know I've rambled on over my bag. Going to give it a shopping from the Co-op, and I will see you on the next video. Like and subscribe.